Hello, everyone, and welcome to Zoom into the Future, a project from Mid Marketing with the view of helping and guiding those industries that have been severely affected by COVID-19 in the motives. In this platform, we'll be talking to a lot of senior leaders in the market, specifically motives, and they'll be sharing their views with us moving forward. My name is Marcio, and today we are joined by Atiq, the food and beverage manager of Grape Expectations in Motives, and we'll be talking about the restaurant business, the food and beverage business, and how him and his team are dealing with today's scenario. Hello, Atiq. Welcome to Zoom into the Future.
Hi, good evening, Marcio. Good evening. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
Yeah, everything is quite okay.
Okay, good stuff. Just for everyone's benefit who's watching from home, could you please give a little bit of a rundown of Grape Expectations and what your role within the company is?
Maldives actually based on the total economy is based on the tourism. So Grape Expectation, the company is mainly based on the resource supply and food, and we have the huge range of food and beverage supplies to the resorts and also within the Malay city, all those restaurant and other food and beverage establishment like hotels and all those stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So especially we are doing the supply from different country. We just take all those food and beverage accessories and we just supply to the resorts and other food and beverage establishment according to their needs.
Okay.
So and for me, I'm especially on the food and beverage department because except food and beverage, we have also alcohol department and also others. Suppliers items. So I'm working on the food and beverage department, and mostly my working side on the Malay city. The Malay city, we are operating three restaurants. One
Mm-hmm.
is Married Ground, which is open first here in Maldives in 2000, back in 2011. Then later on, we open Secret Recipe on
Mm-hmm.
2016. Then we open Pizza Mia, which is Italian franchises. We open
Okay.
at 2014. And
Okay.
recently, we also opened one more outlet in our airport branch in Galana International Airport back in 2018.
Okay.
So
That's excellent.
that's the summary
Okay, good stuff. That's excellent. Sounds like you've got a
in my
lot on your
side.
plate. It sounds like you've got a lot on your plate. Now, it is no surprise to anybody watching this that, the current pandemic has affected a lot of industries and specifically the food and beverage.
Yeah.
People are not being able to dine in anymore. A lot of deliveries have been taking place. However, we would like to find out from your point of view, how has, COVID-19 impacted your business?
The COVID-19 actually hit badly the whole world economy, and one of the most devastating side will be the food and beverage, the entire hospitality industry. Uh, and especially if I compare to other country from Malay will be hit very badly because of that country's you can say total 80% depending on the tourism. Their country two-third GDP is coming generating from the tourism. The foreign exchange is coming from the tourism, and now because of this COVID-19, the tourism is totally stopped. It's been
Mm-hmm.
from long time, and all those food and beverage industry also is had hit badly because of this COVID-19 because people are not going out because of that social distancing and all this hygiene issue. And it's been more than 2 months. We already instructed by government that we have to stop the dining. So
Mm-hmm.
and after that, the day by day is going on. The situation getting worse. A lots of uh, small investment like personal owned restaurant already has been closed down,
Yeah.
and like for us which is operating by international brands also, we are getting very difficulties because it's only takeout and delivery. And
Yeah.
the restaurant business is a low margin business. It's not like other company, like other production company, they have high margin business. The
Mm-hmm.
restaurant industry usually operate by very low margin business, so they are totally depend on the turnover. Every
Yeah.
turnover we getting profit. So if
Yeah.
or even though the normal time, if our turnover getting a drop by 10 to 12%, it's very difficult for us. But nowadays it's dropped by almost 80 to 90%. There's
Wow.
no dining. Even now people are scared about to get the delivery orders also, because
Okay.
they just want to total keeping the total social distancing. They don't want to take anything from outside, even
Yeah.
though we are sharing the we are trying to assure the 100% hygiene, but still people are scared about that situation because this whole world is affected very badly by this pandemic. So
Yeah,
the food and beverage industry is hit very badly because of this pandemic, and also but we have lots of fixed cost like rental, building rental, and also a lots of employee. I think the statistics is after the government sector, food and beverage industry has the most employees
yeah,
because all those restaurants and hotels, motels, and other lodges. So a lot of people now become jobless. They don't have job. They don't have money, enough money to survive because we also can't help. Even though we are trying to help them, but if we are not getting business, it's very difficult for us to help them also to
yeah.
bring back to work and let them work and earn. So in total summarize, we can say it's really a difficult time now for food and beverage industry.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you mentioned earlier, even on deliveries, people are getting scared of getting, food from outside because they don't know where the person
Yes,
has been. Now, this
yes,
is obviously a shift and a change within consumer habits. Now, do you think there will be new trends in the future within consumer
of
habits?
Of course, I believe in that because this, everything has two sides, one positive and one negative. If you are an optimistic person, obviously
Yeah,
you'll focus on the positive things. So I think this COVID-19 will change the food and industry, some trends for forever, especially that
mhm,
hygiene and health safety issue. Because
yeah,
people already have experienced a very bad situation, so they will be aware in future. I think they for sure they will be aware of their health and sanitization now. I think all the people, we for us, even me also, we have realized that in childhood we all read health is wealth, health is
yeah,
wealth, but we are very unconscious about that. We just did whatever we do, whatever we earn, but now we are realizing that yes, health is wealth because no economy,
correct,
no power, nothing can do anything if you are not a healthy nation, a
correct,
healthy family, a healthy person. So
absolutely.
I think people will be more curious and conscious about their health issues, safety issues. So it will be a long-term process, and it will make a lot of changes in this food and beverage industry during dining, delivery, takeout, whatever.
Yeah.
The total our SOP procedure have to amend a little bit. We have to give more prioritize on sanitization, cleaning, and personal health.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Specifically with sanitization, a lot of customers will be, keen on finding out what you guys are doing, to keep the space and the environment clean. Now, have you or anyone at Grape Expectations talked about the new techniques for sanitization? Has there been any
Yeah,
training involved?
Yes, we are doing a lot of training program for this, especially personal hygiene, then sanitization, how to keep clean our environment, how to keep clean our restaurants and all those food and beverage equipment and outlets. So because this lockdown, during lockdown time, what we can do most, it's not like just sitting on your couch and play game and doing
Yeah,
all this stuff. This is useless. So the thing we can do, which is more valuable at this time, is train your staff. But you
yeah,
can't bring them to work. So
yeah,
the most valuable thing you can do. This is the time when you can train your staff properly. Because in the back when we was busy, sometimes we have plan also that we will do the training session, we'll do that training session. But due to
yeah,
lack of time, we cannot do it properly. We have to do it in hurry. But now
yeah.
we have enough time, so we can do a large number of training session so that
Hmm.
they can be trained as a professional.
Yeah.
So I think that would be a great asset when you will have some trained staff, key player who can play for
Yeah.
your company.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, a big concern for everyone is going to be social distancing moving forward. You mentioned it earlier as well. Now, I've been to Mali myself a couple of
Okay.
times, and I've experienced how tiny the island is. Beautiful
Yes.
place, but space is a challenge, unfortunately. Now, what will you guys be doing with regards to social distancing when the island is essentially so small, when there's no space? What are kind of some of the techniques you guys are going to be utilizing?
Actually, this is a long-term plan. Like after lockdown, when we operate our normal, we will back to our normal operation. So also that time, as I mentioned, that people, the certain things will be changed for forever due to this COVID-19. Especially, people will not will be comfortable when the place is cramped or crowdy. So they will
Hmm.
try to avoid those places. So basically, we are trying to do a change in our setup, table setup for dining. I'm mentioning part by part. So basically, we are trying for dining. We are trying to do the table setup again, rearrange that again, at least one table to another table, 1 meter distance at least, so that people they are not getting into physical contacts very
Yeah.
easily. They will feel they're safe whenever they're dining with their family. So their family member are safe from others customers or others parties.
Hmm.
And also for staff, like now we are trying to make changes in our uniform also, like so there will be something is mandatory, gloves and mask, all those things will be mandatory even though the lockdown will be open.
Yeah.
This is actually for a personal health also, because
Hmm.
if you have healthy staff, healthy employees, so it's a great asset for you also.
Absolutely.
So those are things we will change in our dining. And also on on delivery system, like before we are used to do all those card transaction, cash transaction, and all those things. People can come over there to do order. Now we
Hmm.
are totally trying to transform into the online system. We are trying to make a different chamber for takeout. Like before, people give order and they all came together. Sometimes when it is busy time, I'm mentioning the busy time, people
Hmm.
all came together, and it's become a bit crowded
Yeah.
scenario.
Yeah.
So we'll try to make a different chamber for the takeout place. So whenever the order or the whatever the food they order is ready, they will be on their chamber. So they will come, they will show the bill number and take their things. So
Okay.
it will be like a one way U-turn flow. They're coming, taking, and going.
Okay.
It's not waiting there and people are getting crowdy. So
Yeah.
we are trying those things. So because in Malay is very difficult. You already mentioned that you've been here for a few times. You already see how tiny is it and how cramped a lot of
Yeah.
people. So it will be a difficult task for us, but we have to do it in
Yeah.
it. Because the thing is, necessity is the mother of invention. So we have to come out with the new ideas.
Correct.
What are the possible resources?
Correct. And talking about new inventions and new ideas, a lot of the guys we've been talking to have been thinking about new marketing strategies. Now,
Of
how
course.
have you and the team been keeping the brand out there? Because if you're closed,
Mhm.
if your kitchen is closed, there's not a lot you can do, but you can always be interacting with the public digitally. Now, what are the marketing efforts
Yes.
being like?
Yes, marketing. This is the most important, one of the most important thing of any kind of business, because this is the one thing you have to reach to your client within this marketing process. For marketing, we also planning to do it in two ways. One is short term, one is long term. So short term will be during the pandemic, because during the pandemic we can't do much. We
Yeah.
can't force anything to do is better. We just this is the time we can just flow, just go with the flow, and trying to sustain in that situation. So
Hmm.
for that we are trying to planning to do some marketing, like our whoever is our active customers, or we can say the regular customers. We are
Yeah.
trying to take all of them in a single platform. It can be Instagram, it can be social, any kind of social media.
Yeah.
We are trying to get communicate with them. And we are talking to our chefs also to make something in-house sauce or anything, because in that situation, people also getting scared anything made of foreign ingredients, like
Yeah.
which is came from outside. So
Yeah.
people now mostly preferring their own house made or homemade or country made products. So it's the risk is less.
Correct.
So we are trying to do some menu engineering also, like for this the time span we'll do
Hmm.
something which is mostly focused on in-house sauce or in-house products.
Yeah.
So we will do the online showing program. Like now we are talking in Zoom, so we can see. So will try to do something in online that our chef are making all those dishes, and now that's what we can interact with our clients. So we
Yeah.
can be keep in touch with them, even though they are not ordering, they will not order. But the thing is, we can connect it with them. So once
Correct.
the lockdown will be open, then they will know what are the things we are offering, what are the
Correct.
things we did during that time new. So
Absolutely.
they will be interested on that. And the long term process is we are trying to find a platform, or we are trying to make a platform like where we can enact with the most number of people who is actually more reactive on that food and beverage
Hmm.
industry. It can be on
Yeah.
social media, or wherever, Instagram, Facebook, or maybe a database. We are collecting all those database who was our actually we started it a long time before, already 3 months, whenever is effect in Wuhan,
Hmm.
China. So it was a indication from World Health Organization also that it might be affect the whole world. That time we
Yeah.
also start preparing. We are just trying to collect all those database of customers, so by mailing them. So we have a database, a good database now. So we'll try to send them our all promotions, all this thing, whatever we will do by mail, by social media.
That's
and
good.
uh, and we also talked to one marketing company, advertising company, who is working on that. So we are also focusing on the local magazine and news portal, because nowadays
Uh-huh.
people are more curious about all those newses from different places, like about COVID-19. So before, rather than spending time on social media, people are now spending time on all those online news portals. What are the
Correct.
news, what is the updates. So we are trying to promote our things, like sponsors thing, to that side, so that it can be more visualized to the all people, they can
Makes
see that.
sense. Yeah, absolutely. I think we at Mid Marketing have been doing a good job as well with with certain companies that have been
Hmm.
wanting to go more digital. So if there is anything from your side that you would like to find out more, we can do a follow up from this. But it is coming to an end. I just really want to ask you one final question, which is basically personally, what is your personal belief on the future course of COVID-19? What do you think will happen in the next few months?
Well, we can't say anything. We can't predict also anything. But
Definitely.
by our guess, we can hope for the best. Like within 1 or 2 months, it will be better soon. And if we are together, and if we are careful about our health, and we maintain all those rules and regulation which is given by World Health Organization, also each of the state government, then it can be eased within few months. So and for especially in food and beverage industry, it would bring a lot of change. So for like now we also have to make a lot of change, and we have to take some positive things during that lockdown and all those things. Because this lockdown and pandemic, it's teaching us a lot of things. If we take all those things, we can do a lot change in our that. Like for example, one of the main thing we understand in during that lockdown, the relationship with our suppliers, and with the triangle relationship.
Correct.
So we can build it better, that without supplier we are nothing, without client we are nothing, and without us they are also nothing. Our supplier also
Correct.
cannot do much about that. So we understand the value of each other. So after that lockdown, we can do more initiative to make our relationship stronger with the suppliers
Correct.
and also with the clients. So it also can improve our service. When we care about that, automatically the service will be much better than that. And then
Absolutely.
also we can make some delivery friendly menu, like because nowadays a lot of all restaurants are focusing on delivery, as there's no dining. So before, all restaurants didn't focus on delivery friendly menu. They just we are just going on the a la carte menu and whatever our menu is. So now
Suitable.
all we are changing our menu, which is delivery friendly. For example, like if you have French fry or anything, so you can't deliver that. After 10 to 15 minutes, it will become soggy. So now
Correct.
people are coming up with some new ideas, invention. Like instead of that, we can include in our food and drinks, all those marketing plans. For example, I forgot to mention you one thing, that we are also trying to make some meal kit, because people nowadays, people will love to cook their home, and
Hmm.
this trend will be keep remain same after the lockdown also. It will be a long time. People will love to cook because of two things. One is financial thing, another is food and health safety,
Correct.
because the whole world economy is hit badly because of this pandemic. People will not interested to spend a lot outside. So
Yeah.
it's a normal tendency for people. They will try to save some money for the upcoming future. So
Correct.
we are trying to make some meal kit also, like which is the most selling dishes. So we'll just make meal kit and we'll deliver that so that they can cook at their home.
Okay.
Also now one of the most innovation thing now can be, we can sell some voucher.
All right.
So
Okay.
because yeah, nowadays, because we need, the most important thing is we need money for our company also,
Yeah.
to help our employees also.
Yeah.
So where we can generate that, we can do some promotion now, that we can make some voucher. They can use it after lockdown and they can
Yeah.
buy it now, to
Yeah.
help our company, help our employees, and help others also. It's also a social cause. So all those things we can do it now, and we can implement all those idea to our in future also, because we never know when the another I'm not praying, but it can be happen that another
Absolutely.
situation can be arise, that when we can face some problem. So if we can prepare for that, like we can take all those lessons from this pandemic, so we
Hmm.
can be prepared for that.
Correct. Absolutely. I think you said something that's really key. Having cash in hand today is king. Being
Yes.
sure that your business is afloat and solvent in today's market is really important. So it's a really good point that you've risen. I think. Thank you very much for all your insights. It is unfortunately coming to an end. I wish I could, just keep the conversation going, but the guys, not everyone will have hours and hours, to watch us,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Atiq. We've
Uh,
got a lot of information, like I said. Thank you very much for being on board with Zooming to the future. It's been very helpful. Thank you very much.
yeah, it's much appreciated. It's much appreciated, guys, that you also gave me a chance to that platform to talk something, whatever is my knowledge, to share with everyone. Maybe I can also generate some knowledge from others also. So it's my
Absolutely.
pleasure to talk to you guys.
Absolutely. And whenever I'm there, I'll make sure to pass by Pizza Mia or Mary Brown or Secret
You are
Recipe.
most welcome. You are most welcome, and we are welcoming the whole world after lockdown. Please come and visit us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much, Atiq. And you have
Okay,
a great
okay.
day
See
ahead.
you, and have a nice day. Stay safe.
All right. Bye bye.
Stay healthy. Yeah. Bye.